Sorry for the hairdo. I came out of the sauna in an ice bath in my recent video with Tom. A quick disclaimer, I'm not a swimming coach, nor am I an experienced swimmer, but these are just some things that I picked up and some basic swimming tips over the last 7 months. I also wanted to just quickly add that although I didn't have any experience at all in anything related to triathlon, I did have experience playing sports growing up. So let's go back to when I first started swimming. Anna used to be a professional swimmer and helped me a lot throughout the first 10 weeks of me learning to swim. I realized that my first 3 sessions using a different watch, it also meant my moving time and my lapse time were the same. So take that as it is. But these were my first 3 times swimming, and these were my last 3 times swimming compared to my Ironman. The first thing I learned that was time is a major factor with learning to swim. Based on my Strava, in the 7 months leading into my Ironman prep, overall I swam 249 kilometers, which was around 72 hours of moving time, which is obviously quite a bit. It's quite a lot of swimming for someone who's never swum before in their life. But what we're gonna do is we're first gonna start off with the very basic accessories, and I'm gonna talk you through them. So I've tried a vast range of goggles. I found these were all from Speedo, these are from Roka or Rocker. I don't know how to say it, but these were the best ones that I've tried so far, and I haven't had any leaking with them at all. Swimming caps, if you've got long hair like me, struggled with the Ironman caps, but I found the 2xU cap to be the best. And what to wear when swimming, I've got a pair of briefs, and I'm also wearing trunks that I'm wearing right now because I've just came out of the ice bath from my recent video. But they're the 2 things that I find that you can wear, and I found that wearing the trunks were a lot more comfortable. Now, let's get kick-started with some basic techniques that I learned when I learned to swim. I won't be touching on any strokes, just some basic techniques. So breathing. When I started breathing, I was taking a massive gulp of air and not breathing out underwater. So learning to breathe, what I would do is I'd hold onto the side of the pool that Anna taught me, kick myself up, and then learn to breathe out to the side and practice that both sides. And another thing that Anna told me to do was to hold a kickboard in front of me, not a pool buoy like you see here, but hold a kickboard out in front of you and practice to do your stroke and breathing like that. You can also have the pool buoy between your legs, and then after you finish a stroke, Anna used to always teach me to touch my armpit when I go to put my hand back out in front of me. So that's basically how I learned to start my stroke and start swimming. I also found a lot of the time I'd be gasping for air and struggling to breathe, and that caused me to have something called aerophagia, which I still can suffer from, but not as bad nowadays. But what I learned was to relax and take a nice breath into the side and then go out through the nose underwater. Sometimes what I do, and the best technique that I found for me, was to breathe out through my nose as soon as I go into the water a little bit, and then just before I go for the next stroke, I'll breathe out as I turn my head. So to be, that's tend to the technique that I follow now, and it's helped me a lot. And then sometimes when I enter the water, I'll do a quick blow out the nose just to get rid of some air, and then as I go to do my next stroke, I'll breathe out through the nose, and then breathe in from the side and repeat the process. And I found that to be the best technique for me. So where do you look when you swim? I found that to be a major factor. Earlier, I suffered chin rash, where my chin was hitting my chest, and then later I was looking too far up, so obviously I was slowing down. Brenton did a video on this, so I'll link the video here, but typically looking anywhere from what I remember was 0 to 15 degrees. Another major thing I learned that I haven't seen before was Anna telling me how to actually have rest between sets and reps when you're swimming. So Anna taught me to not breathe out and gasp for air after you've done the rep once you're finished. Instead, breathe out of the pool and then go under the water, breathe out, and do the same thing and repeat that process until you've come back down, and then until you're ready to your next set or rep, and hopefully your rest period's around like 20 seconds. So Anna taught me to breathe out underwater and breathe in, obviously, above the water. And doing this for my 15 to 20 second rest intervals really calmed me back down. I actually don't know the science behind this at all, but it really helped me with my reps and sets. All right, so sinking. Sinking was a major thing that was happening with me. You would have noticed that from my video with effortless swimming when we discussed my technique and what I need to improve on. I'll put that video on the screen as well, so you can go check that out. You can check out my video and you can check out Brenton's video too to see how we fixed it. But the major takeaway I found from that video that helped me the most was pushing my head in the water, and that would lift me up, and that really helped with my swimming. Also with the fact of using a pool buoy really helps, so definitely get used to using a pool buoy when you're swimming. So the next 2 things are a bit more complex issues that I've been working on and still working on to this day. So one of the major problems that I found was trying to propel my swim and trying to muscle through my stroke to get me moving. I've been told off many times for trying to muscle through my stroke and power through my stroke, but I found that the most effective thing that I'm trying to work on is trying to be really smooth and really gliding through my stroke. And the 2 things that have really helped me improve this are things called trying to swim long and not swimming short, and also front quadrant swimming. And I find the longer you hold out at the front before your next stroke, the quicker I begin to go. So what I found to this, and the best way to practice this, was to have my hand out in front, and just before my next hand enters then I'll go for the stroke. But Brenton has a lot better video explaining this, and I'll put this on the screen so you can go check it out. And just some accessories that I use throughout my Ironman prep I'm gonna show as well. So a pull buoy, snorkel, DMC Elite fins from Brenton, and some paddles. And they were all the things I used for my Ironman swim prep. Some quick wetsuit tips that I found very useful. Number one was some type of body glide that you can rub on your neck and armpits and everything like that to prevent chafing. I found that I was loading this up in the end just to make sure I didn't get any neck chafing, and it worked a treat. And another tip that I got told a couple of days before my Ironman that I found worked amazing was using baby conditioner or baby shampoo on the inside of your wetsuit. I found that I wasn't as restricted and I was able to move very comfortably whilst having the baby conditioner, just a slight bit on the inside of the wetsuit. Lastly, the most useful tip that I found for putting on your wetsuit is a grocery bag or a plastic bag, not a trash bag because trash bags rip, just a nice grocery bag. This is a Foot Locker bag and they work really well. I got taught this from Mitch Anderson, but if you wet the outside of the plastic bag, it also helps it slide on a lot easier. And lastly, what I learned is to not try and fix everything in one session. At the start, when you get told something's wrong with your stroke, you try to fix everything, but I found trying to fix one thing across the span of like 1 to 2 weeks and seeing how you improve with that was the best for me. So definitely focus on the thing that you want to get better, try that for a couple of weeks, and then move on to the next thing. I found that to be the best process for me, and that really helped me develop swimming. Now, I'm not too sure if that's going to be super helpful, but I hope some of that helps out the new swimmers out there. Now, obviously these things are very basic, so I hope they help, and hopefully that gets you to improve your Ironman swim time. But if I can do it, you can definitely do it too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the channel.